you listened to that panel. I hope you took away some knowledge. Up next, though, I wanted to announce a very special guest. She is known as a thought leader and one of the most familiar and recognizable female faces in the cannabis space. She's also an activist and an orator and a U.S. Air Force veteran. The lovely and talented Miss Ellen Brown. She is our special guest speaker coming up next with you guys. So I hope you take the time to enjoy that. Are you familiar with Ellen?
I'm very familiar.
She's awesome. I've had the privilege to work with her on a number of speaking engagements, and she's one of the best teachers we have.
Yeah, she takes care of our vets.
Yeah, she really does.
Her philanthropy is where I know her from. And
she's dedicated so much to this movement and this culture, and I pay homage to her. And every time I get to see her, it's a gift, because people like that are few and far in between. Ellen has really made tsunami impact in New England and across the country and the world, but having someone like her here at home and on the front lines is a blessing.
Yeah, very much so.
So tune in, Ellen Brown, here we go.
I'm Taylor Brown. I'm the founder of Sensimia Seminars, and I'm honored to be a speaker here today. We are here. We are having the 31st Boston Freedom Rally, and might I add, the very first virtual Boston Freedom Rally. And I think we need to take a moment just to step back and realize what an accomplishment that is, especially during truly these unprecedented times where things are changing and where adaptation is really important. And right now we are changing a platform, and we're doing whatever it takes to make sure that the message of cannabis reform and hemp reform get out there. So thank you to each and every one of the speakers. Thank you to each and every one of the bands, the artists, everyone tuning in. And especially thank you to the people behind the scenes. Each and every one of us is going to have a role to play in how we shape our future. Usually what I like to do on the stage is ask a question of, what are you going to do from now until the next Boston Freedom Rally? What are you going to do with the next 365 days? You have 365 days to make a change, to advocate for things that you care about. And now, because a lot of us are home, there's more time to do so. So it's not necessarily about the time as much as it is finding the right way to go about achieving your goals, figuring out who are the entities or people in charge or legislative branches that need to understand the importance of an endocannabinoid system, or need to know why laws need to be changed for safer access and accessibility, not only for the consumers and the patients, but also those that are building this industry. Because what we really want here is for mom and pop shops to thrive. We want this to be an industry that allows for multi-generational wealth. That's going to be very important. So we want to make sure that laws that are written and things that come into play are going to be advantageous for all people involved, especially the little guy. I'm a big fan of the little guy, so I want to make sure that the local farmer, the single farmers, the small mom and pops, that they can all succeed. And with their success comes the better quality cannabis, comes that better quality medicine. And that's going to be so important that we always strive for better. We can always be doing better. Right now, Massachusetts is a state with a recreational program as well as a medical program. And those are two things to be very proud of. But at the exact same time, you need to remember that there are states that do not have a medical program and they don't have recreational use. And there are pediatrics, geriatric, veterans, and people that are ill that need this medicine that aren't getting the access, the care, and just as importantly, the information that they need. So that's where you come in. Maybe that's what the next 365 days are about. All of us working together for the collective good of getting that message out there that cannabis reform is strong, that we are united, can't stop, won't stop. That's what it's about. And right now, during this age of COVID, we're all going to have to really take a step back, evaluate what can we do, how do we go about doing it, and challenging ourselves to get out of our comfort zones, challenging ourselves to find new ways to persevere in the age of COVID. For example, I'm happy to give you this example. Recording a speech makes me uncomfortable. It just is something that I'm not very practiced at. It's something that is new, and it's something that I have been trying at for quite a while, a couple weeks. Recording, deleting, lots of bloopers you will never see. But with that in mind, I'm here now. I'm feeling like I'm seeming confident. And if you would watch the beginning of this video, maybe you wouldn't know how many tries it took me to get here. And that's what it's about. It's about falling and getting back up. It's about trying, and it's about not being afraid to fail, because you're going to fail. I have a whole bunch of bloopers. We're all going to have things that we're going to do right now that are going to challenge us, because there are things that are going to push us outside of our comfort zone. So whatever that might be for you, whether it's, maybe you're interested in testifying, but that's something that would, push you out of your comfort zone that you've never done before, give it a try. We're all here to support you. I know that everybody here is here to support me, so thank you for that. I really appreciate it. We're not only a cannabis community, we're a cannabis family. And you're going to have other challenges that you might have to face, whether it's having a conversation at the dinner table about your endocannabinoid system, talking to somebody that might need the information, or just being that resource. Especially now where we're not able to gather in groups, and you're not able to get the camaraderie that we used to be able to get by coming to these events. It's important to know that even though we're not all physically together, we are all still together, and everything is going to be okay. And right now, one of the most important things I think any of us can do is to take a step back, evaluate the situation, look at your local town, look at your state, look at your region, look at your country, and say, how can we make this better? What can we do right now to make this better? Are there any laws or legislative sessions that are coming up where we could propose new legislation that would really make a difference in our community? Those are things that I want you to be looking at, and those are things that I want you to know that you're not alone. It can feel daunting. It can feel like it's more uphill than anything else, especially at a time, like I said, where we're not all together. But remember, we're all here for you. And up at the end of that hill are other people coming from different sides, and we're all going to meet up on the top and look out together at our beautiful, beautiful hemp fields. That's what I want anyway. You can have THC or CBD, whatever cannabinoids make you happy. It'll be the whatever cannabinoids make you happy field. How about that? But the point is, we'll all be there together. And it's going to take different medicine, and it's going to take different speakers, and it's going to take different people to make a large change just across the board. So, whatever your passion is, wherever you feel your heart is in this community, please pursue it. And, let everybody know, and we're here to support you. Look at every single one of these speakers. Look at every single one of these businesses and figure out, who can I connect with later? Who could actually help me achieve these goals? I have some goals I'd like to achieve in the next 365 days, and I was kind of really wondering if you could help me. Please and thank you ahead of time. So what I'm asking for the state of Massachusetts is, I would really like Massachusetts to allow for reciprocity for patients. I would also really love if Massachusetts could get rid of or abolish, or maybe, I don't know, I guess just make it voluntary instead of mandatory, the patient registration. I don't agree with it. I don't believe the patient should have to be registered with the state. They shouldn't. And I do believe that out-of-state patients should be recognized and treated with the same respect, because they are patients. So with that in mind, those are things that I'm going to be advocating for. Those are two topics that I know that are close to my heart, that I'm going to be talking about and advocating for the next 365. What about you? Not even to mention what we have to do and the ways to make sure that this plant is accessible for our pediatrics, geriatrics, veterans, anyone that needs it, as well as making sure that we have a inclusive and diverse industry. That is on each and every one of us, to make sure that anyone that wants to be here, that we welcome them, that we help the next person along, that we kick down wherever we can, pay it forward. Like Kyle Correo, aka Elmo, and his cousin John say, be the person you needed when you were younger. Take that in for a sec. Be the person you needed when you were younger. That doesn't necessarily mean the youth. You could see somebody in their career, you could see somebody in their life, you could see somebody in their journey, and just know that you have words of wisdom that you could give them that would make that a little easier, and impart it on to them. Advice from wisdom is definitely cherished, and for those that give it, thank you. Each and every one of you right now, we each have a responsibility to ourselves and to this plant to make sure that it continues to grow and continues to thrive. Plant seeds to trees that you will never know the shade of. So with that in mind, I want you to look at legislation, I want you to look at yourself, and I want you to think, ask not what cannabis can do for you, but what can you do for cannabis? And for every single person out there, I know that these times are challenging, and I hope everybody's safe, and I hope everybody's healthy, and you can be anything in this world, and I want you to try to be kind. Be kind to each other, be kind to yourselves. Take a second, breathe, relax, and then just keep pushing forward. It's going to be okay. Happy Boston Freedom Rally. I'm looking forward to seeing you next year. Thank you.